some finer points of that. So now this is, you are all familiar with normal indicators like moving average and also normal trend lines, pivot point trading and all. So this is another tool in that total technical toolbox that you may have to use, because certain times certain type of tools will category, this weighted volume, because the volume plays also a very important part, because we are only seeing price, okay? Price, volume, time, all these things play a very important role in deciding because we have already said about this time factor in the average true range price or a volatility based indicator. This particular month or today, how much possible the price movement will be. So that we have already looked at the average true price range as well as the volatility indicator. So this is another thing which is volume based, because volume is also plays a very important part. We have seen that whenever there is a price action, it should be accompanied by an increase in open interest as well as increase in volume. Then only we will know, we can get the confidence that yes, this particular movement is likely to sustain. So any dips is a good level to go for a buy. Similarly on the sell side. So the volume is a very important confirmation for the price action. In that category, this volume indicators, or many indicators are there, like price based indicators, volume based indicators are also there. In this, volume weighted average is one, and then anchored weighted volume weighted average is another one. There's just very small difference in that. So we'll first see what is the volume weighted average indicator is. Now let us say we have 20 days of price action, say from December 1st. Of something like 20,000 shares at this price. Tomorrow, for 102, let us say this is 18,000. Then 104, let us say it is 16,000. So today, for 100 rupees close price, total volume of shares traded is something like 20,000 shares, let us say. So it is exchanged hands. That is, buying has taken place, selling also has taken place. So there is if there is a price movement along with increased volume, okay, along with increased volume, and also the open interest in the case of futures gets added, it shows that the market is strong. Now this weighted volume average price is calculated, let us say 100 into 20,000, 20,000 is the volume into 100. Next day, let us say 18,000 into 102, then 16,000 into 104. So like this it is calculated for many days. Now once +18 lakhs. This is 16 plus lakhs. Now all these things are summed up. These things are summed up. Let us say this comes to 18.5 lakhs. This comes to something like 17 lakhs. Now 20 plus 18.5 plus 17, 35. So 55.5 lakhs, right? So price into volume, it is summed up. Okay, total price into volume is summed up on all those days. Then it is divided by the total volume, 20,000 plus 18,000 plus 16,000. Let us say this is the total volume, summation of the volume, which is 38 plus 16, say 54,000. Now this amount is divided by this. Okay, this amount is divided by this. So this is the formula for calculating the anchor weighted volume, that is weighted volume average price. Now let us say you want to know this particular value from a particular date, that becomes a anchored volume. Now, for example, we have seen, let us say, the market fell on June 4th during election day result to some extent. Then it has rallied to 26,200 from something like from 21,200 or so. It rallied this price, and after that some 23,400 or so. Then it is like this, something like this. Now, let us say you want to know what is the value for this anchored weighted volume price from this particular date, that it becomes anchored. That is weighted volume average price. If it is from calculated from this date, then it becomes anchored AVWP from this particular date. Similarly, you can have multiple dates. Like for example, you can also do it from this place. You can also do it from this place. So depending on from which value you take. Now, since this is almost 6 months from June till December end, so this is a full six months, probably it will have a greater weightage. That particular value will have greater weightage and will give you the overall resistance support much more confidently, or probably you can take that particular level more confidently than from smaller level. Now, this concept is used even in intraday. So you can use it from probably yesterday's session till today. Then from there also you can find out the movement, that is the resistance support. And if the price is below this particular rate, if price is below this particular value and then starts moving above that, then it becomes bullish. Like how the moving average, how we use the moving average. If a price is below 20-day moving average and starts moving above the 20-day moving, buy signal comes. Similarly, if the price is above the moving average and starts falling below the moving average, then a top is made. That's how we take it, right? So then we go for a sell. Similarly, this is the in the case of weighted average price or anchored weighted average price. If the price is below that and then starts moving above that particular indicator value, then we presume that the market has found a bottom. Similarly, the reverse is true. That is, if the price is above the weighted average price anchored to a particular day and starts falling below that level, then in that case we presume that a top is made and the sell signal has come. So this is another indicator, something like a moving average, but here the volume is also incorporated. In the case of moving average, the volume is not incorporated, so it is only the price. So in this case, both the price and volume are incorporated, so it gives additional information to you regarding the strength of the price movement, because in the case of moving average, it is just a price. Now in this case, there is a volume component also, so it gives more confidence regarding the particular direction of this move. Now, along with this AWP, some standard deviations are also projected. So we will see in the chart through probably Nifty, then some of the stocks. Then you will probably appreciate it and use that as another complementary tool to your existing technical analysis. Now, in the trading view platform, you have this. This is a Nifty chart. Here you can go to the anchored volume in the left pane. In one of the left panes, you can just click volume based. The volume based, you can take anchored. Now you have to fix it to a particular date. Now let us say this particular date. Middle one is the AWP. The middle one is the anchored weighted volume average price. Now if you see market, the price went up above this, then went up to this level, then again you see the support comes somewhere close. So always there will always be some sort of overlap on this. Happens even with moving average. So what we should do is we should see where this price touches. Then again if it starts breaking, or allow a pivot point formation to happen around that level. Then after that, if the pivot point is broken, then in that case you can be sure about the direction. So here if you see this particular it came down, and now also if you see it just moved a little bit above that. mood. So if it starts again cutting this particular price, that is 24,002, 25, 226, then we can be bullish. So right now, when you take it from this level, when you take the volume weighted average price from this particular level, here the market looks to be still on a bearish mode because it has not traded much above the weighted average price. Come here. So we should wait for the hourly price bar to come very closer to that, touch it, and then if the pivot point is made, then we should go long, keeping that pivot point low as a stop loss. Now this is from this particular date. Now we will go to a bigger one. So this is for intraday or for tomorrow. Let us say tomorrow you want to see where it will get support. So you can say that it will get support closer to the 23,900, approximately closer to 23,900. We can expect a support. Okay. Now this is also confirmed by multiple things, like 38.2 comes on 23,933. So maybe we'll get today it closed 990. So it's a good chance that it can rebound from 933 levels. Now we'll remove this. We'll go to bigger one. So let us say weekly chart. In this we will anchor it to this low because it was the June 4th, June 3rd is a very important low. So we'll try and see. Now if you see the price action, the one which is in the middle level, is the anchored weighted volume average price, and the ones which are this green ones which are there are the one standard deviation above and below. Now I told you that if you see in here, it took just support here. Now here after it fell, there's a resistance closer to this. Okay. Now here also the weekly chart, if you see there was hesitation closer to 354, it fell and then started to break. Okay. So now it went above this, and now if you see this level was broken. Again this 170, 180 levels was broken. So that shows very clearly that we need some sort of a movement which is above the 24,400. It has to happen, which is also incidentally this. So we need a move which is clearly above the 24,350 to 24,400 to look towards, on the long side, based on this particular indicator. Probably if you see the moving average, I think one of the moving averages is still slightly above that 400 levels. So we have to wait and see that particular place also. But based on this, yes, though it looks to be a little bullish above the 24,400 levels. Now we need a confirmation. So probably we can look towards drawing this. Okay. Now, if you look at it, 226. So, yeah. So this particular move, which is also around 369 to 370. Now this trend line also is falling closer to that. So around that 330, 350 levels, I think there can be some hesitation, and after that it can still start moving up. So right now we can say the movement of Nifty could be between 24,900, 930 on the lower level, and 24,350 to 24,400, and then we have to see how the price action works, whether it's below 930 or it's going to go above the 940 levels. Okay. So these are two important levels based on this anchored weighted volume average price. Now, if we, let us say we look at it from a different date. So another important low was from here, and then last September low was here. So we can even take it from this level and see. So you can see, this is the one standard deviation price which we talked about it, right? So when we anchored it to the important low of this, so this is since it went much above the one standard deviation of this. So when it started to fall, it just took support closer to the one standard deviation. So there is a good support level right now, and even during this particular fall, it took support at this level. So we can expect, we have to probably be on the alert for the start of a bullish move. So we are not comfortable from the fundamental point of view, but from the technical point of view, it looks as if this particular week, which is 24,226, probably tomorrow if it starts to move a little higher, or probably next week it starts to move higher, then we need to be very careful and probably still look towards going on the long side for investment itself. For investment purpose itself, probably we need to look towards on the long side. So keep yourself ready for to be on the longer side. And already we have said that this particular month was from the other point of view also. Now on the monthly chart also, we said this month has been broken. So since this month has been broken, this month high has been broken, this is a very important pivot point. That is 24,260, 263 is going to be a very important one. And also this last month low also, this 23,460 also is very important. So expect that probably even this can hold, and we may start the new uptrend move. A new move can start happening. So if this month it doesn't clear 24,857, next month if it starts to clear this, then probably you will be now also above all the moving averages, and a big long signal will be flashed if that is the case. So we should be prepared for a new up move. Keep monitoring that. Now let us look at the intraday also for this, for this weighted average price, to know whether it is of some help as far as intraday trader is concerned. Now we will put the 15 minutes chart, and of course if we do it from here, the same. So the same 23,900 is what we are getting. So let's look at from yesterday's high. So look at it, since once it started to fall, I told you, it may go back to the weighted average price. Now once it went there, it started to work out its resistance. The resistance started to come out well. So we are expecting closer to the 24,120 or 121, and then just went a little higher, 24,149. So we should have waited for this pivot point to be broken before going on the long side. So very clear that right now this particular it is coming down to 24,089 or so. Now we can also use the trend line. So for those who want to go on the long side tomorrow, you can wait for this line to be broken. So assuming now this weighted average price is coming closer to 24,089. So if it starts to move much above 24,065 or 6570 levels, then I think or 24,090, and wait for that. And if a pivot is formed, and then if the pivot point is cut, then we can look towards going on the long side. So those who are looking at the intraday trade also can just wait and see that the 23,000 close to 23,900, which I told you, approximately 930 to 900. So that particular level could be a support level, and resistance level could be closer to 24,050 to 24,090 on the intraday basis. So once it starts to trade above that, then even on intraday it can go long. You can go long. Okay. So this is now. Similarly, we can also look at, so this is a Monday trade, Monday, right? So today is Friday. So Monday trade, you can be on alert for this move. Now, we can look at, say, some scripts, okay? And let us say, I think, shall we look at, say, TCS? Okay. Now TCS rallied from 40.32 to something like 41.82. So 140-150 rupees. Normally, this trend takes it like that. But let us say on a daily basis, 85-86 from this average level, 41.39 plus 40.32. So 40.80, 89, 41.69, 70 levels should be a strong resistance level, and it has taken resistance closer to that. Now, probably any break above this, I think TCS will be on the long side. Any break above this, TCS will be on the long side. Now, let us look at the anchored WAP. So we will look at it from different places. One of this will be from this particular high, right? So we can take it from this itself. Now, since it is much below the one standard deviation of the weighted average price, it is bearish, and it took resistance closer to the one standard deviation. Any up move now, first up move will take it closer to the 43.09. So here also, if you see, it just took resistance closer to this. Now from here, if it starts to move, 43.0809 will be a first important resistance. But here itself, there was a resistance. So you can go long above 41.83, and first target could be 43.05. So that's one important target, and then you can decide about how to go about it. Now, this particular level, if you from here, Fibonacci levels also, if you draw, it has taken support close to the 78.6, 40.33 is an important support. So it has taken, it looks as if it has taken an important support, 40.33. So from here it looks as if we may see on the long side as far as TCS is concerned. Now let us look at the same anchored WAP from a different date. Now let us look at it from this place. Okay. So here at this juncture, we have from this particular date, we see the resistance coming closer to 42 40, 42.40. Now, which one to take? So, you take it from here or take it from there? That's the question. Now, what we saw was earlier was 43.09. So, we have to see whether 1 or 2 days later, whether that one which is anchored from this peak also come closer to the 42.40. So, then in that case, a significant break above this 42.40, which means this particular level 42.18, 42.20 can be bullish. Now, for which date you want to give importance is something which is a judgmental call. Now, since this is the peak from where it is falling, you can give importance to the anchored one from that particular place. So, that means the trend, in order to break the downtrend, it has to break the volume weighted average price anchored at this place. So, you can take that also as important. So, we used it when from this particular level when it was climbing higher. So, either we could have cut short below 42.62, okay, 42.62, or probably we could have cut it even when it started to fall below the 1 standard deviation pivot point. So, either one of that we could have used. So, here since it is a number of days is longer, so that means the price fall will be you have to wait for a significant fall before you cut it. So, instead of that, you can use from a smaller level, that is from a let us say I would say let us say this is an important pivot. Okay. So, you could have used it from this place also. Okay. Now, you see, so when you because there was a correction bar. From the correction bar when it rallied, so this correction bar anchored WFA comes here. So, we could have cut it here itself. So, the important stop loss was this. So, now the one which we have taken from here is this. Okay. Now, let us say if you wanted to take it from this particular level, so this looks to be too short one. Here the 1 standard deviation came to this particular place. So, we could have we should wait to go long about this because we have taken from this particular level. So, we could probably wait a little bit before we go long on a pivot point break above this. And also this is significant because this Fibonacci 78.6 retracement from this place to this place is also coincides with this, right. So, any break we can take which is above 41.83 itself, any break above 41.83 itself, TCS can be on the long side. So, we are using multiple indicators. Now, one is we are trying to judge from the weighted average price which is closer to the 42, 30, 40 levels. From the Fibonacci level, it looks to be a 41, 80, 83 levels. So, to some extent we get a confidence that yes, we can now take the Fibonacci confluence levels itself to go on the long side. So, TCS above 41.83 and this will be also breaking a pivot high, pivot high. Now, similarly, so we can use based on this, now probably we can look at another stock before we jump to the next topic. So, let us say ICICI Bank. Okay. Where will you go long as far as ICICI is concerned? Now, let us say 2-3 things we will just use rapidly. Now, one is Fibonacci 78.6% retracement from this particular level to this low is what we will first take it. Now, let me take hourly chart because now it has come below this, we will use this. So, 78.6% retracement comes to 1286. So, the long will get established in ICICI about 1286. Okay, about 1286, a new long will be created. Now, we will look at the anchored weighted average anchored price from a significant this one maybe from 1350, okay, from 1350 peak. Okay. Now, see, multiple times it had gone up to this, made one pivot bar, came low, and then started to move up. Now, in this particular place, probably we are getting somewhere closer to this particular high, which is 1293, and from the Fibonacci thing, we are getting 1285, 1286. So, probably a few more hours, this anchored, this also can fall a little bit down. So we can look towards going on the long side above the 1285, 1290 levels itself. So what we are doing is we are using the anchored weighted average price along with Fibonacci or along with one pivot point to get more confidence about it. So this is another tool which is volume and price based. So you can practice this and see whether it adds little more value to your technical analysis. Now pivot points. Now some finer points we said about the pivot point trading. Let us say we just wish to show you now Nifty. Now these are classical pivot points which we will use. Now let us say, see this is one right now. You go this one since from this chart you go to the left hand side of this chart. Go to the left hand side, okay, left side, and see which pivot point in the left side of the chart almost coincides with this particular pivot point. Okay. Now this is 225, 24,225, and if you see it comes to 24,188, right? So approximately 30-40 points difference only is there. So approximately these two pivot points coincide. That means this particular pivot. So in that case, after this pivot point I, what is the next pivot point low? Okay. Now this pivot point low is 24,008. So 24,008. So what we can do is, since it has come approximately closer to this, we can put this particular one itself as a point for any long position. Earlier we could have put a stop loss below 24,008. 24,008. We did not have waited for any bigger stop losses. We could have put a stop loss at 24,008 itself. 24,008, because this particular pivot point almost coincides with another important point on the left side of the chart. If that be the case, then identify one pivot point, next pivot point low on the left side of the chart from this top. Now use that as a stop loss. So the stop loss concept can be much more robust, and probably it did not be any. It is chart based. I can say it is not a forecast based. You don't need to worry about too much about Fibonacci or moving average or anything like that. You can just trade with this. So 24,008 in this particular case itself becomes a stop loss. Okay. Now going with the same thing, next important support. Now this is it has started to break below this, so we can expect some sort of a support coming closer to this important pivot point, which is 23,870. That's what I said. 23,900, 920 can be a very important place. So 23,870, 20,800 can be a very important place, because here also if you see it hesitated close to 20,870. So next important level will be if it starts to break 23,930, which is also an important support, 23,870. So we can expect some important support closer coming to towards the 23,930, 935, which is what we identified right now. So 23,930, 935 can be a very important place, and if it starts to go down up to that, then the trend line which comes here, this has to be broken for it to move on the upside. So that comes closer to 24,050 to 24,080. Chances that on Monday, if it starts to slide down first, 930 to 900 will be the important support, and 24,070, 80 in Nifty could be an important resistance. Upside break of that means probably we are going to get much more on the long side. And now let us say already the market has made a new top, in the sense in the daily chart. If you see we are at this has been broken, right? So this high has been broken. So since this high has been broken, mostly we should expect some correction and then go long above any corrective bar. For example, on Monday, let us say since this today is a bearish day, which is 24,196, 24,976. It falls to 24,930, goes to 24,080 and then stops there. Then if it starts to break the 24,070.80 on the long side, then definitely one should go on the long side. One should definitely go on the long side at that point of time. Okay. This is one thing which probably please note that just keep an alert for the next important corrective bar high to be broken for you to get on the long side, which probably could be giving a very truly rewarding thing. This is all not based on fundamental thing. This is just based on technical in the sense that this high has been broken. This high has been broken. Because this high has been broken, we expect that any bar now will be a corrective bar, correction only, and the correction could go maybe to 61.8 to 75% retracement can also take place. But important support comes to 24,930, 920 because that is a 38.6% retracement. If it starts falling below that, maybe even at 23,750 itself, also it can go up to 23,750 to 23,800. From that level, if any the price takes off any particular day's high, then in that case, look towards going on the long side. So time probably has come to look towards some long side area, and probably we are in the January period. So I think coming days we will see results coming from January 10, 12. Though October, November, December quarter may not be that good, market could probably even position itself for the budget, and if there are some interesting proposals from the budget, market can still fire up on the upside, and also along with what happens in US. So this is one thing as far as the pivot point is concerned. Now in the case of trend line, let us say, so any low to any high you can connect and look towards resistance point. Now for example, this particular one, let us say, now this is this high, okay. Now this has been broken. So from now onwards, if it starts to go up, still there can be some resistance coming closer to these levels. So that's why I'm saying 24,080, 90, slightly hedging up on the upside. But so this particular trend line, please monitor for an upside break, which probably could be still give an indication that the market could be on the strong side. And if you look at it, this is any particular low to high we told you. So this particular thing also, see where the resistance came. So connecting this low, connecting this particular high, we got a resistance closer to that. So it was not able to move much above the 740, 750 levels on any close basis. So this is going to be some important place to resistance area. Similarly, any low to low also can be a very important resistance area. For example, since this has been broken, I think we need to look towards this particular. So there is any rally which it comes, probably could check along this particular line, resistance line, and along that resistance line, some resistance can come from there. There could be a fall, and that fall could probably take support at this particular level. That is the what we said is. So let us say this is a trend line now, right? So this is coming closer to 24,090 tomorrow, edging by 23-25 paise on day. So let us say tomorrow, if it doesn't, on Monday, if it doesn't break 24,090, it may be 24,115 the next day. So wait for that. Now once this particular trend line is broken, okay, again, then there is a very reasonable chance that it can start edging and going up to this particular trend line. Okay, it comes much higher, and this particular trend line will give the support. So along with pivot points, you can also use this particular trend line and look at these lines as resistance and support levels in future. Now, if you look at this this particular trend line, see, now this has been broken, right? So this has been broken. So we can expect any down, probably now it comes closer to 23,710. So closer to 23,710, 720, 730. this particular trend line can also give support along with Fibonacci. So the best bet is to look towards on the long side at 61.8% retracement of this particular one, which probably could come closer to the 23,710. Now also we can look at 1 minute. So for multiple point Fibonacci extension. Okay. So 23,910, 930 is going to be very important support, and if it fails, then we expect 23,710. So I think 23,710 is a very ideal place for a big long position, Okay, so keep tab on that. So this is how you look towards analysis by using different tools. Now the pivot point on the chart, I'm not talking about the formula based pivot point, but this particular pivot point with a trend line with the anchored volume weighted average price will definitely, and along with of course the moving average, use these 3-4 tools and any momentum oscillator divergence. So just make a quick list of all this thing, and probably then you will get a very good sense of where to place your long buy position or sell positions. Now also one thing which we have already told you, that you can always look at ATR, one ATR on an average price of the highest bar here. So 24,226 and plus 23,751 divided by 2, 23,988 minus 291. So 23,700. So 23,700 is going to be a very, very important place of support, and only below that we will know that probably a top has been made. Now this particular one shows very clearly that in this 23,689, 460, I think this 278 points. So based on the volatility indicator, which we have already explained to you, that plus 278. So once it started to break 23,850, 852 on the upside, it has already become looked to be on the long side of the market. So expect support to draw at closer to 23,710 right now. So any break closer to the 710, any fall closer to the 710 should be latched on. Okay. Now similarly the same thing applies to stocks also, and any other stock that probably you can look towards. Let us say in this already most of the some of the top stocks are falling in a big manner. So let us look at Infosys, because now I will prefer a mid cap stock, a small cap CDSL, so because I think these stocks are going to do well anyway. It's likely to beat the indices in a significant manner, and we will look at the weighted average price. Now let us look at the Fibonacci first in this. So Fibonacci retracement from this place. So it came closer to the 1710 levels, right? So between 38.2 and 50% retracement. Probably it may go down, maximum down closer to the 1680 levels. So much below 1680 levels is unlikely to happen. So any fall should be taken there. And already it is let us say look at the weekly position, and so this particular week now it's going to be broken. So let us say 1828. If 1828 is going to be broken, then definitely I think it should be on the long side. So CDSL, any break above 1828, yes, it should be on the long side. I think one need not wait much. One can look towards buying it on dips itself. So any dip towards this particular level, which is 1762. Right now it's 1805. So even dip towards 1762, itself, I think one can go on the long side of the market. So 1762 itself, in the case of CDSL, is likely to be a good buy. Okay. So keep a tab on CDSL at 1762. This is based on the pattern. Now we can look at the weighted average price for this also, anchored volume, and let us say we will look at from this particular top. Now it has broken this one standard deviation and then took support closer to that. This is 1772 is coming, and if it starts to move up, this 1840, 1835, 40, this particular height, 1840 could be the resistance, and anything beyond that is going to be very supportive as far as CDSL on the weighted average price is concerned. Now we will remove this and put it from this particular level. See, it has taken support closer to the anchored volume. Now this is a pivot point form. So only thing is, if it is going to break below this, then probably we can say that it may go down much. So it looks as if it has already taken support closer to the weighted volume average price, which was coming closer to this particular close, which is 1748, 1750. So I think it's definitely a good long position closer to the 1750, 1760 levels. So weighted average price, Fibonacci, all these things and patterns all confirm a possible up move for CDSL if it starts to break this particular week high. So this is how we use some of these indicators, and we'll continue this discussion again by showing to you how we can analyze stocks. So any doubt right now, please ask me. NMDC stock. Somebody has asked about NMDC stock. So first let us look at the big chart, big picture. For many months it's now down. I think this stock will have resistance. It has to break. So this line, it has to break. This trend line, it has to break. So in this month, it is coming closer to the 71 levels. So we need to see at least a move which is above the 71 levels for us to look towards on the long side. Now, if you look at the chart from this particular angle, from the trend line angle, it has to come in this month. It has to break somewhere around 75, 76. So the chart as such is on the bearish side. The chart as such is on the bearish side. But if you are looking towards some investment, this particular level, which is around the 60, 63, 64, looks to be a good level to go for investment, because it looks as if this formation may not be taken off that easily. So the 64 levels, and it has also gone up to 95. So 30 rupees divided by 95, normally, which is around 31-32%. So most of these stocks stop closer to 31-32. So for investment, NMDC stock can be considered closer to the 63 to 64. And right now, the movement can be right up to 75 to 76. So it's a stock which could move between 63 to 75, 76 levels. So thanks for participating in today's webinar. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you. Happy weekend.